Good morning, Stylist from the break room. Good morning, Eddie. Good morning, John.
All
Good
right.
morning. Good morning.
Today we're gonna be talking about the hair saving treatments because it's October month. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. What do you guys think about that?
That's awesome. That's awesome. I don't know. Do we jumping right into this right away? There, Eddie.
I mean, we've been talking about bringing awareness. I mean, we started a couple of months ago, starting to bring awareness. So I am all for it. I am all for this today.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
think awareness is a very important month. This whole month is very important for our industry. I think it's important for women. But I think that personally, it shouldn't just stop at a month. I think it should be a year-long thing.
Mhm.
We have clients coming in. It's not just in October. They're going through treatments, and they turn to us for some kind of relief, or at least to make them feel good about themselves because of all the
Mhm.
nightmare that they're going through. And let's call it what it is. It is a nightmare. I mean,
Yeah.
going through chemo, going through radiation. I have two clients that had to have mastectomies,
Wow.
and it is awful for them. And so I think that any and all assistance that we can give them, and as an industry, any and all assistance that we can do to help these women feel better about themselves and to look good, I'm in.
Right, yeah.
It really is becoming a bigger problem year over year.
Mhm.
It doesn't Cancer doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care if you're young, if you're old. Doesn't care
Mhm.
what size you are, what color you are, whatever the hell you are. If it's going to take you out, it's going to take you out. If you're going to get it, you're going to get it. You could
Yeah.
try to do things that are preventative, which is great, but you shouldn't think you're immune. You go get checked. Go get checked. Don't just be
Mhm.
aware. Go participate. Be proactive. Don't just say, "Oh, I donated $1 or however much this month because I bought something pink." Yeah, that's nice and that helps. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But don't let it be like, "Oh, okay, I did that, so therefore I'm good." You don't get a
Right.
pass. You don't get a credit. Go get checked. So that's the biggest PSA we could possibly do. More than anything
Absolutely.
else.
Yeah, I agree. Mhm.
You know,
Absolutely.
people
I
share
think
their. We hear the things that most other people don't hear behind the chair.
right.
Clients open up to us and they talk to us about things that most of the time they are nervous to tell their most closest family member or significant other. Sometimes they confide in us things, and it's pretty wild, man.
Mhm.
Topics get heavy sometimes, so
Yeah,
it's all
I,
we
th-
could
I
do.
think it's very honorable what we do. I think it's very honorable that we actually are given the trust and the opportunity to help at least talk people through the stuff that they're going through. Well, what's the term, Eddie? We're therapists.
Therapist, yeah.
Hair, okay,
Mhm.
We're therapists.
hair therapy.
Um, Yeah. I think that I don't look at it as oh my God, she's hit me with this heavy stuff. I look at more as I feel honored that someone trusts me enough that they can share this, what's going on with me, especially something
Mhm.
like this, and that we can actually help them, move through it or at least cope.
That's what's
Yeah.
wild about it is that people feel comfortable enough. We make people physically look good, but that personality, that interaction that we have, this is that form of intimacy that I'm always talking about. It's like a psychological and an emotional one. It doesn't just
Mhm.
always have to be, physical. It's it's serious, and that's
It is.
awesome. It's awesome
It
that
is.
we could do that.
It is.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to backtrack on what I said earlier. I know this is the month that we focus on it, but we can do a lot of good throughout the year, but we can really kind of crank the engine up for this month. And there's a bunch of stuff that we can do as stylists. There's great organizations here in the salon. We're doing the pink extensions for $15 a strand. So show support, and all of that money is going directly. All $15 is going straight to Hair to Stay, which is
a nonprofit.
My brain is going faster than my mouth for once. Where what they do is they're providing cold caps for clients that can't afford cold caps, especially when they're going through treatment, things like that, to help keep as much of their hair as they possibly can. With that being said, you can reach out through HTB Beauty if you're interested in doing this, even if you do it just for a couple of weeks. $15 a strand, you do 10, 15 people. I mean, that's money that goes directly straight and donated to Hair to Stay or whatever breast cancer organization you choose. You're doing something cool for people, and you are actually helping. I think that Eddie, you and I were we were having this conversation earlier. Is it most insurance companies don't cover the cold cap, or some?
I don't think any cover it, or if any insurance companies do cover a cold cap treatment, it's very, very few, far between. It's considered cosmetic. That's the problem. It's not considered, what's the word? Like mental, psychological.
Yeah,
it's considered, alternative and cosmetic. It's not considered essential, which is very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate.
It is.
Isn't most of the doctors always saying you got to have the most positive outlook? You got to have the most positive mindset. That helps more during the treatment than the actual treatment sometimes. Which I don't understand it, but I do understand it. Obviously, you're going through the treatment. That's what's saving your body.
Right.
But your mind, if you're not in the right mindset about it, nothing good comes from a negative mindset.
Right.
Some of the world's most amazing things that have been accomplished had 99% failure, 1% success rate. And with that positive mindset, going all in on that 1% mindset is what beat the odds, and that's how we have the amazing things that we have these days. So,
right. Well, and that's the old adage is where the mind goes, the body follows.
That's an amazing
saying. That can happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you remember, it was maybe a little over a year ago when we interviewed my buddy D, when they told him he had 6 months to live.
Wow.
And he said, heck no. And he made up his mind, and he found alternative, and look at him now. I mean, he's a 100% plant-based hyper athlete, or whatever that is. That's awesome. I think that's just, it's all about what goes on up here. But to help people get in that headspace, we take care of their hair. We make them look good and feel good about themselves. And I think we're very, very fortunate to have that part of this, this craft that we do. But there are a lot of outlets where you can help raise money for these people. We have the Ergo brush set.
Oh yeah, those are really nice.
And a percentage of the sale. And what you get, Eddie, you get a 53, a 43, and a paddle brush, right?
Correct.
I can't. Yeah.
You can't see over the box.
I can't see over the box. And it's a cool box set. You can order these. Your clients can order these. You can go while we have them in stock. I know they're going fast.
Well,
Yeah,
it's a limited
limited.
what they're
Mhm.
doing for breast cancer awareness, but yeah.
For breast
Mhm.
cancer awareness. So you can get those. You can call the office or go to htbbeauty.com, and it's kind of cool. I've sold 4 or 5 of these for clients, which is good because a percentage of it does go hair to stay, goes straight to hair to stay, which helps these people. Um, I'm gonna ask Carm a question, and it might be a little odd question, but Carm,
Okay.
you are a woman.
Yeah.
Um, how and once again, Eddie and I are guys, so we've only heard how all. I mean, it's not that awful to go for a mammogram, is it?
Well, I'll be 40 in January, so I have no idea yet. I heard it's like okay. So I guess I'll
Okay,
find out soon enough.
that's right. I forgot. I forgot how
Oh, you
young you
haven't
are.
been doing them?
You do it when you're 40, and then after you keep doing them like every year.
Woman, I told you the past couple of years, go get checked.
All right, we're
Yeah,
no
they do
fighting. No
mammograms at
fighting, kids.
40, but they do check for lumps and bumps when you go to the gynecologist, and everything's been good, so
Okay. Okay.
that's fair enough.
So it's not that, but so up until 40, it's not that horrible just to get an exam and get things and make sure that things are okay, right?
Right, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good.
Isn't there a
Okay.
self check that you could do?
Is there a what?
A self check?
Stop. Stop. I know where he's going.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm asking.
I
I'm
mean,
being
yes,
serious. I'm actually being
there
serious. I'm not
is.
being
They
off.
say you're supposed to feel your breasts to make sure there's no lumps or bumps, and if you feel something, then you tell the doctor.
Oh, so you could kind of figure it out.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then it's no different than if you touch your face or if you touch somewhere else on your body, then you're like, oh, that doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel normal.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair to say.
Then don't ignore your body.
Right.
Yeah. Then don't
Yeah,
then don't
Right.
be
don't
stubborn
ignore
like
your
me.
body.
No, I get to be stubborn. I don't have to listen to my body, but everybody else should listen to theirs.
Oh.
Yeah. This is the guy that's usually dragging one leg behind him like Igor. I'm fine.
It'll be fine. Just rub some dirt on it. It'll be fine.
What do I need that leg for?
I have another one.
Okay.
So, Carm, you got some questions for us.
So yes, I was gonna say it's cool technology how they have the scalp the cooling cap. Does anybody know like how that like works?
The cooling cap it is actually a very cool technology. No pun intended, but it is literally designed to freeze the follicles. So this way
Okay.
they don't get inflated, they don't get stressed, and they don't get overexpanded during radiation or during chemo. The body is going through such a stress and such a heavy dosage of like the whole hormones, everything is going out of balance. So, without getting in deep into the science,
Right,
basically,
right.
while you're in treatment, whether it's chemo or whether it's radiation, your body is going through an extreme stress event. And
Hmm.
during that event, your body is trying to adjust. Okay. So just imagine if when you're in the car and if you turn too fast, you kind of get thrown into the side of the seat. So you're grabbing on to try to keep yourself steady. If you
Mhm.
brake too hard, you get thrown forward and backwards. You're trying to
Yeah.
brace yourself to hold yourself steady. Your body is going through such an extreme thing. It's trying to force itself. And one of the first things your body does is it expands, it inflates. Okay. And so when that happens, especially when we're talking about the hair,
Hmm.
if that irritation expands all the way out and your hair shaft is only so big and it expands and it's trying to push itself beyond how much room it has, it can snap itself. And if it snaps itself, then obviously that's breakage and you experience the excessive shedding and hair loss that a lot of women go through.
Right,
So
right.
by the cooling cap freezing the follicle, it shrinks the follicle and it contracts it, and it tries its best to prevent it from becoming irritated and expanding and over expanding too far, so it doesn't cause that breakage.
Yeah,
Right.
it
So
controls
then you
inflammation.
lose like all your hair. It's just like very thin and sparse. It helps your hair to stay, kind of.
It helps retain the existing hair that you have. The other thing that happens is you got to think about, I mean, really, we're talking about cancer, right?
Yeah.
Your body is eating itself. That's what cancer is. It just, your
Yeah,
body's freaking
unfortunately.
out and it's attacking itself. And when it's doing that, it's going into survival mode or into red alert mode.
Right.
And in essence, whatever nutrition, whatever healthy nutrition you have in your body, it's only going to send it to the essential parts to keep your body moving, to keep your body alive. Your heart, your brain, your organs. As much as we use our nails and our hair as cosmetic, we really don't need our hair and nails to physically survive.
Right. It's just for like us to like feel better. That's why there's wigs or something. So this way you can go out in public, and because sometimes, like, of course, people feel embarrassed and they don't feel good and they want to look pretty. So they get these wigs and they can help their self-esteem.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right.
So this is
Right.
why, this is why the hair thins out or falls out, is because
Yeah.
the body is not sending any more nutrition to the hair or to the nails, because that's all the excess anyways. Our hair and nails is all the excess good
Mhm.
energy that we have, or the good nutrition left over that we have after it goes through the rest of your body. Whatever's
Mhm.
left goes to your hair and goes to your nails. If it is preventing that from happening, then you're not getting anything anymore. And if you're not
Yeah.
getting any more, then you're not producing any new. And then you're choking out whatever's left.
Mhm.
That's the falling out. That's the shedding that's occurring. So yeah,
Right.
that's in essence what the cooling cap does.
So that's kind
It
of cool
offsets that.
technology that they have. It tries to help save whatever it can do. So you're
Right.
not like completely bald.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
I
It
know.
controls the inflammation of the scalp, where inflammation usually leads to bad things.
Yeah. That is a really
Yeah,
cool thing.
that's very cool. That's
Yeah.
very cool. What else you got on those papers, Carm? Come on, hit us with some questions.
I ain't got no papers. Talk about Willis. So you guys are keep mentioning Hair to Stay. So you said that's a non-profitable organization. Like, what do they do?
Yeah, Hair to Stay is a nonprofit organization. They have an insane story. It's really wild. Uh, they created they created this organization to help offset the cost of this cooling cap service during chemo and radiation, during chemo treatment.
Okay.
And it's really wild because it's not covered. Like we were just talking about, it's not, a lot of
Right.
cosmetic services are not covered under insurance. So you're paying out of pocket. Some of these treatments can cost what, $1,500, $2,000 to get
Yeah,
this service, to get this,
yeah.
you know,
That's what Darren. That's what I had read.
Wow.
it's wild. That's expensive. And especially it's
Right.
expensive if you have to go every week for treatment.
Sure. It can add up fast.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you're talking like almost what, $5,000-$6,000 a month?
right.
Probably.
Think
You
about
know,
it.
Wow.
it's no joke. So these guys being a non-profit and they're raising that much support
That's
to work with
awesome.
these companies to produce these technologies. So then this way they can offset the cost for patients going through chemotherapy.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, man. It's absolutely
Yeah.
mind-boggling.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
But
it
it's
is.
so vital. It's such a vital thing. And it's a shame. It's a crime that this isn't a standard part of the service. It really is, you know. So having nonprofits like Here to Stay is so vital. Is so vital to making somebody feel good while they're going through something so bad.
That's true. That's
It is.
amazing what they
It
do.
is. It is. And we're very well put there, young man. I don't think I could have been as
Yeah.
eloquent. Um, so I guess my question is to both of you, because both of you work in a salon. So what are the breast can give me some of the breast cancer conversations that go on?
Hmm.
Well, I mean,
I'm just like, huh? Because
Trying to think what I'm allowed to say when I'm not allowed.
yeah.
well, let me share a story with you. So
Okay.
I have a woman that every October I put about 12 highlights around her face, bring them up as blonde as I can, and then I make them pink, right?
Yeah.
So she was in 2 weeks ago. We do the highlights, and then she comes back and we do the pink. She doesn't like to do it all in one day. That's fine. So she was in last Saturday, just this Saturday, to get the pink put in her hair. And so I put the pink in her hair. She's processing. My next client comes in and they start talking. She's like, "Oh, are you doing pink for breast cancer?" And she's like, "Yeah, I am." And they're both survivors.
Uh-huh.
And they both had double mastectomies. And the next thing you know, they're both hiking their shirts up to show,
Oh
like
my
they're comparing scars and stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm
God.
out. I'm going to the bathroom. But it was interesting to me. It was funny yet very interesting to me that
Yeah.
these people, they found a common ground and they were sharing their story with each other. And then all of a sudden there were like 4 or 5 women around the door to my space,
Oh
and
my God.
they're all talking about breast cancer because it is a real fear. And there are a lot of
Yeah.
people that have gone through it that don't mention it. But my one client who gets the pink, she actually had a couple of tattoos done to cover up the scars. And it's kind of cool. But you never know. You never know. And it was really cool to see that energy because it was a positive energy. It wasn't a negative energy, you know?
Right.
And and then the second client that came in, she immediately bought one of these. She went right online and bought one of these. And it was just it was awesome. And they both made a donation to also to Hair to Stay,
Okay.
and um, and it was just very cool. It was very cool. But some of the stories that I've heard, where there are women that have knew something was going on, but they ignored it, and then finally they got it checked, taken care of. Um, I'm going to go back to what Eddie said initially, and that is get yourself checked, guys. We have
Yeah.
to. You have to. You got to take care of yourself. And believe it or not, breast cancer is becoming prevalent in men too.
Wow, really?
There is a percentage.
Cancer's cancer,
There
right?
Yeah,
Cancer's
that's
cancer.
bad.
It don't care. And the more preventative and more on top of it you can be, the better off. I think that as humans we can be too. But if you know somebody that's out there that's going through it, be supportive for them. Help them out any way you can. And there's a ton of nonprofits out there that are helping these people out. HTB, we've aligned ourselves with Hair to Stay. And
Mhm.
I think it's awesome. I think it's horrible, yet we can make a difference. I guess is my point.
Right,
I
that's
mean,
all
if
that
we're going with
matters.
that kind of story, then
Uh-huh.
It's wild because when you hear the girls talking to each, like when you hear the women talking to each other,
Mm-hmm.
it's a different tone of conversation. And
Right.
I'll just call it for what it is. I'm a guy, and
Prove it.
when I have clients who are speaking to me about breast cancer, the tone of the conversation is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Completely different. And what I found kind of interesting, if we're going over positive stuff, because that's
Yeah.
fun. I've had women say like, "Oh, what's your opinion on the implants?" And then they're talking about size, and they're talking about this, and they're talking about that, and then they're saying, "My husband, my boyfriend," they're talking about that, and then like, "Well, what's your perspective? What do you think? Like he said like this. Does that make sense?" Like as a guy, yeah, it makes sense. I understand what he's saying. So then you kind of guys are pretty simple and straightforward. We just pretty much say what we're saying. We say things very directly. We think about the details, but we don't really spend a lot of energy verbalizing the details, if that makes sense. Whereas
Okay.
women also think about the details, be far better at verbalizing. We could play 20 questions. I can answer all 20 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Within a minute, ask me to repeat 3 out of the 20 that I was just asked. Forget about
Yeah.
it.
Right.
But I can
Right.
tell you what we discussed because that is what was committed to memory. The after 20 questions, the who, what, when, where, why, what are we doing? Committed to memory. Boom. I understand my assignment. I'm completing my task.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different perspective. Over the years, I've been asked my opinion 101 different times, about what do I think of how it looks? What do I think of this? What do I think of that? Doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is when you look yourself in the mirror, how you're going to feel.
Mm-hmm. True. That's
It's
valid.
by far the only thing that matters. The thing that's mind boggling to me is when somebody doesn't feel good, they take on this responsibility and this weight of having to make everybody else around them feel good about them not feeling good.
Right.
Mm.
I think that is the wildest, mind-blowing thing,
Yeah.
So my dumbass, all I can do whenever I have somebody who's going through treatment or is going, has breast cancer and they're towards the end, all I can do is just goof off with them. Like all I can do is derail the conversation in every other way other than, how are you feeling? I'm so sad for you,
Yeah, because they probably hear that all the time. So
Yeah,
if you
totally.
derail it, like at least they're making them smile or something.
That's it. I'm just
Yeah.
goofing off. And if
Yeah.
you
Right.
laugh for a minute and you can share that moment with somebody, I mean, what the hell? What else is
Yeah.
there?
It doesn't cost anything.
It doesn't cost anything.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
my conversation, that's what I was thinking, like, what am I allowed to say? Because the
No.
conversations that I are,
Sometimes it could be a little crazy,
yeah, just a little.
But yeah, I haven't experienced a lot of that talk, but I've seen where there was this lady who had, the short hair because she's going through chemo through the breast cancer, and she was staying positive and everything. And every so often she would come in and you have to do the haircut, and then finally it was the shave, and then she would have to wear wigs, and she would bring her friend that made her help feel better, and and they would drink some wine, have fun, and she was just staying positive, and then eventually the hair does grow back, so then you feel way better about everything. So it is
Yeah.
sad to see the little steps that you have to go through, but
Yeah.
yet they
And
stay
that's a
positive.
yeah, and that's the wild thing is your clients that have gone through it, they've lost their hair, then their hair has grown back. And how about most of the time it's never like the hair they had when they, before they lost it.
Yeah, true, it could be different.
It's a lot different.
Mhm.
Once
Completely
again,
changing your whole makeup. You
yeah,
know, all your hormones and
Oh,
everything is getting completely changed. So
right.
yeah,
yeah.
how many times have we heard it? You go in with straight hair, you come out with curly. You come out with curly, you come out with straight. You had thin, now
Right.
you have thick. You had thick, now you have thin. You know, it's all the
Yeah.
way around and everything in between.
Because truly, I mean, just to be very simplistic about the whole thing is those treatments basically drop a bomb on the body. It is a
Yeah.
full on body assault to knock that cancer out, or at least get it under control. And it is a full on assault to every part of the body. And yeah, I mean, things are going to change when you do something like that to your body. Remember when you were kids, and if someone was in a car accident or a real bad accident, and they come
Yeah.
back to school and they're gray haired, or they have gray in their hair from trauma to their body, it's the same thing.
Hmm.
It is, on a serious note. I mean, I know we tend to goof off a lot, when we get to subjects like this, but on a serious note, besides the fact that it's messing with their head, it is really, really, really taking the body all the way to the extreme.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, the shock to the body that the hair is going to change, their nails change, and
Yeah.
sometimes for the better, and other times sometimes not so good. And that's where it's on us as stylists, and to help people that help people with their look, is to get them going on the right things for that new hair in, right?
Yeah.
um and B, giving them a look that they can wear, so they don't have to wrap their head in a turban, or a do-rag or
Right.
whatever, to go out in public. Once again, that falls on us. That really does, to help them through that. um but hey, it's also a very cool job that we have, because we get the opportunity to help those people. um
Mhm.
you know
Mhm.
um Yeah, I could go on for hours with that, but I'm sure you've got other questions, Carm.
So with all these technologies that exist, it's like kind of cool how there's different either organizations or like, hairstylists, everybody, like with all that, like you can do a whole bunch of things to keep yourself, from feeling down and out.
Yeah, yeah,
It, it's super cool.
Yeah, technology.
The more than the technology itself too, I like what you're saying there, because if you think about it, an organization, we always think of an organization as a nonprofit organization. That's where our mind directly goes to. But look at all the other technology that has spawned.
Yeah.
Like you were mentioning earlier, Carmelina, the wigs, the topper pieces,
Hmm.
scarves, hair accessories,
Yeah,
clothing
that too.
accessories. So many other types of businesses have been spawned to help offset what somebody is going through, what a woman's going through when they lose their hair, to make themselves feel good and be presentable. So yes, nonprofits help and they matter. And those cold cap services and treatments matter a lot. And additionally, local businesses, us at the salon level,
Right.
local wig shops, companies, online who are making these things. A lot of companies donate wigs and hair services. A lot of stylists offset their services or just flat out comp their services. It really is dependent on your relationship with your clientele. It's
Yeah.
also dependent on your relationship within your community as well. So it's really fascinating how that goes. I mean, I've done charity work myself more times than I want to admit, because I'm not trying to brag or show off about it. You know, like you build those individual relationships with your clients and their families. So your heart just goes out to people. Well, I mean, if you have a half a heart, it goes out to people. You know, so being able to help in any way that you can, not just waiting for a nonprofit, you yourself can make a difference as well too, especially locally within your own community, within your own block, within your own neighborhood. Yeah, there is a lot of different technology. You're right. You know, and
Yeah,
there's a lot of different organizations too. I think it's
come a
cool as well.
long way, and I think that's amazing.
I mean, how many times did those high schoolers call us and
Yeah,
ask us
Right.
to
that I
come
just
help them
want to
during their lunch
say that
hour?
we went to the high school and everybody's excited. Even the boys are excited. They have like the spray paint pink. They're like, yeah, do my hair.
Oh, I
Or
forgot about that.
yeah, and then even the teachers and the girls are like, yeah, I want to do pink, yeah, and they're excited, and it just takes what, like 2 seconds. They sit down, you put it in, and they donate, and then at the end of the day, the girl was like looking like, wow, I can't believe I raised this much, and they had T-shirts, cookies. Oh my God, they did a great job. And what did we do? Just spend a little time, like.
Actually, we had a good time doing that. That was a
That
really
was
good time.
fun. That was
I,
fun.
the boys wanted the extension just as much as
Yeah,
the
they
girls
did
did.
too. Yeah, I think the boys did more than the girls.
Look, when that kid reached out and I called both of you and I asked you both if you wanted to participate, I literally,
Yeah,
this is what I told both of you was, they're high schoolers. It's going to be during their lunch hour. It's just going to be a couple of hours.
right.
I'm going in with zero expectation, but the fact that these students, these young kids, people want to organize something and attempt to organize something.
Right, and they did.
I'm
Wow.
supporting this. Let's go. Let's try it out. Let's see what they can do. You
Yeah,
know, and it was. I went in with zero expectation, but I was impressed. I was blown
I
away
was
by what
amazed
they
too.
were able to
Like,
put together.
wow. They raised some
Yeah,
decent money too.
They
yeah.
That's
did.
They were,
awesome.
They raised,
I was like,
for
wow.
two lunch hours. They raised a couple grand. Like that was.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, they were very organized.
yeah.
It was a good thing. It was a good thing across the board that we did. Absolutely.
So I got
But
another question, or so so you know how like in healthcare they have like privacy policy and all that kind of stuff. So I guess where I'm going with it is like privacy policy, because like the women who have breast cancer, like it's almost like privacy, like how they have to break it down to like their children or somebody to talk to, so this way they don't feel the hurt and all that. Like that's got to be like hard to try to present to like a kid or someone else that you want to speak to about it. Like what are you thinking about that?
Just think about, just to bookmark that for a moment. Okay,
Sure.
you've had to tell me a couple of really messed up things before, and just think about how nervous you were about how I was going to react when you told me the couple of bad things that you told me, or at least you thought were really bad things. And think about the stress that you went through. Now magnify that by 100 million billion times worse.
Hmm.
I mean, that's, you are literally telling somebody that you are sick and there is
Right. That's hard.
a 60-80% chance you're gonna die. You know, there's nothing you could do about it other than hopefully do this Hail Mary treatment and
Right.
hopefully it works. Now you got to be on the receiving end of that, and there is nothing you can do about it when the person is telling you this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you might be good with your hands, you might be a carpenter, you might be an economist, you might be a banker, you might be a hairdresser. You know, we can do things. Like I can go on YouTube right now, start looking things up, and I can freaking figure out how to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But then you tell me your body's messed up and there's no way to freaking fix it.
Yeah, that's bad news.
It's that's how serious receiving that news is, you know. Now there is a second part to that, but I'm going to pause for a second. Uh, do you want to take this at all, bro, or you want me to skip you?
You know, I'm in agreement with you. I'm gonna take a different angle before you get to your second part. You also have to think about, okay, you're on the you know, your loved one or someone you care about is telling you that they've got this going on, and
Mm-hmm.
you know that they're hurting. But the hardest part really for them is not only are they stressed out about having whatever this is that's going on, but now there's the added stress of having to tell your loved ones this.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, there's a Hail Mary, but you've been given a finite set of time, and you've got to tell your kids. I mean, when you said that, I was sitting there going, God, how would I tell my kids that? Um,
Right.
you know, and that's just more stress that's thrown on to the brain and to your body. And that's even before you start treatment. I mean, it is a heavy duty thing.
Yeah.
And I agree with you 100% on that.
So now here's the second half of what I was holding on to.
Mm-hmm.
My brother gives me a call. I get a phone call from my brother out of the blue. Random and weird. I think I'm going to ignore the call. And then I'm like, fine, whatever. I'll answer the call.
Mm.
Goes, hey, bro, I got to tell you something. It's about mom. It says, yo, what's up? I'm at the hospital. She's got cancer. You know, they found it too late. It's stage 4.
Mm.
I go, okay. And mind you, I've been listening to people talk about cancer for decades in my career, but I never got into the specifics of it and I never fully understood anything, right? So here's me. Oh, stage 4, is that low on the totem pole? Like, is this on a scale of 1 to 10? He starts crying because he thought I was just, usually I'm goofing off, right? He goes, this is it. It's over. I'm going, all right, man. Oh, geez. Like, where are you? He's like, oh, I'm at the hospital. All right. No, get in the car. I'm on my way. I get there. She's in the bed. I'm going, what are you doing? Like, don't you have like a little bit of time or something? She goes, no, I'm in hospice.
Hmm.
Isn't hospice is like when you have like 2 weeks left to live or something? Like, isn't that like towards the very, 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 like, I know I'm out of touch, but isn't that like over? Like, how long have you been in
Yes,
cancer
but
for?
sometimes it's very rare that you could outlive the hospice and get back on
Well,
track.
here's the
But
insanity. My mother
yeah, it's
knew
bad.
she had cancer. She just
But she
didn't want
didn't
to
say
tell anybody about
anything.
it. She didn't know
Hmm.
how to tell anybody about it. She was
Hmm.
embarrassed to tell people about it. I was like, what is embarrassing? She goes, oh, see, I didn't take care of myself. I got sick. Like, I don't think that's how that works.
Ah,
You didn't have enough salad
yeah.
in your life, and now like you had one too many cigarettes, and now you're gonna die. Like that's what you're going with. Like it probably didn't help the situation, but that
Yeah.
is not what caused it. Like, how are you embarrassed? Okay, whatever. Can we get past this? So you have 2 weeks left. Now you're telling me, like,
Yeah. What?
what, you know, So it was such a surreal situation. It was so weird. So then we're sitting there, my brother's crying, and I'm going, oh, geez, man, I don't know how to make you stop crying. So I'm like, can you just go in the corner and then just cry by yourself over there? Like, I'm so, I'm in shock myself, right?
Right,
Like, my
right.
mom's sitting on the bed, she's all wired up and everything. And I was like, all right, man, I don't even know what the hell's going on anymore. I'm trying to process myself. And such a big brother move. Hey, little one, he's the youngest. Like, go away. You're annoying. And in this poor kid's moment of strife, I'm like, yeah, you're annoying.
Mm.
My sister was on her way, so she lives out of town, so she was on her way in. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to her, and she goes, yeah, you know what? I don't want to die young. Like, that was her whole thing. I don't want to die young. I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you, but I don't think you have a choice in the matter. She goes, well, the doctor's going to come tell me what's up. Doctor comes in and he's like, yeah, you probably have about 3 months left, like 2 or 3 months later. Basically, that's it. It's over. And you're going to hit a decline really fast. She goes, no, I'm too young for that. I think I'm going to live to be old. Now, my mom was foreign as hell. To her, old was 60. Different time, different generation,
Yeah.
and foreign as hell. So to her, old is 60. She was 59. She goes, nah, I think I'm going to wait till I turn 60. I'll talk to God tonight. I'll pray, and I'll tell you tomorrow what I decide. Doctor's like, so he leaves, shaking his head, going, I can't deal with people anymore, I'm going, woman, what is wrong with you? She goes, you just have to have faith. You just have to believe, and you just have to decide, and you just have to know it's okay. Like, we're here for as long as we are. And sometimes we check out sooner, sometimes we check out later, sometimes we don't get to decide when we get to punch out for our day. She goes, but I've lived my life very fun. I've lived my life very nicely, and I've a good, decent person. I've helped people. And yeah, I think I'm going to make it. Yeah, I've decided I'm going to make it. I'm going, well, if you do make it, can I meet this person that you're talking about who's so nice and helpful and a good, decent person? She's like, get out of this room. Like, that's, yeah, I don't remember her being nice, but okay. It's my mom. I get to say the next day, she goes, nah, I'm going to make it to my birthday. I'll die on my birthday. And so while I'm still here, we need to do this, and this. And like, she wanted to accomplish all these different things. I'm going, what the hell? In the most positive way, I learned that it's all in your head. At the end of the day, the weight and the gravity of anything that's heavy to deal with, all that stress, it's all in your head. How long it takes you to get over something when you get upset about something, how long it takes you to be nervous, how long that mindset is. You know how many people never do anything because they think they just can't? You know how many people say, like, I think I'll try to do it. I think I will try to do it. Is very different than, all right, this has got to get done. Let's see, let's do it. Let's see how good I can get this done. Are you in essence saying the same thing? Yeah. But how are you setting yourself up for a mindset for success? And that's what I learned. And she's so freaking stubborn. I don't know where I get my stubbornness from, but she was like a whole level of stubbornness. And it was wild because she defeated all the odds. She got herself out of hospice within the month. She lived her life for a whole nother year. And then the night before her birthday, she's gathered us all around, said her goodbyes. And then that night she went to sleep and she never woke up. And it's like the next morning she died like within a minute or two of her freaking birthday, like on the clock. If anything,
this is so wild. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it's mental. My mom's mental, but it's the whole thing about the whole situation was so insane. Like, none of it made any sense other than the fact of whatever you put your mind to, that's how it's going to be. You
Right.
Yeah.
are the captain of your own ship. You are in the driver's seat, whatever analogy you want to use, right? You get to decide how you are the main character of your story. You get to decide how to write it and how to end it.
Right.
That's really
Yeah.
what it comes down to. So, yeah, it's hard to decide how you're going to tell somebody because you're worried about their feelings and you're worried about how they're going to react. And then you're worried about how you're going to react to their reaction. It's like this whole snowball effect.
It's a whole
right?
chain. Yeah.
It's a whole chain of events that happens.
Yeah.
You have more power than you realize. Each and every one person individually has more power than they realize.
Absolutely.
So I don't know.
Absolutely. And I
I don't
think that
know.
was,
I think that answered your question. I don't know if that answered your question, but
I
mean,
think that's an awesome story, Eddie. And
I
I think
know.
that is the high point that we should end this on,
Yeah.
because that was heavy and awesome, because knowing you and knowing your mom, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whatever this woman decided was done. Like, that's it.
And that's great, because that ties in, like when we first started talking about this, that ties everything together for us, because like we said, where the mind goes, the body follows. It really
Yeah.
does. It really does. Guys, if you like what we do, please come to htbbeauty.com. We also greatly appreciate all the support, the suggestions we get. Carm, we greatly appreciate you, because you really are the backbone of everything that we do.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Carm, make sure you get yourself checked out. We need to keep you around for a while. Eddie, I don't care.
Aw.
I'll drag my leg behind me. No, thanks for hanging out, Carmelina. I know you like being on the background. You don't like being up front in front of everybody, but everybody likes seeing you. So
Yeah. Hey guys, thank you. Hey guys, make a difference one client at a time.
Catch y'all next week.
Thanks. See ya. The SFTB podcast was not recorded in front of a live studio audience, so thanks for joining us for today's episode. If our hair topics made you smile, give us a thumbs up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll read them while waiting for our caller to process. Share this video with your stylists and friends. It helps us make a difference, one strand at a time. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Because your hair deserves all the latest and greatest tips.